Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the DRF Bets Race of the Day for Thursday, December the 6th. It's race number 7 on opening afternoon at Los Alamitos, an optional claiming race at 6 furlongs. You can bet this race, you can bet the opening day card with a DRF Bets account and the 300% deposit match that goes along with it. It's an easy sign up at bets.drf.com. Let's meet the field for race number 7, your DRF Bets Race of the Day, and you can access free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Download them, handicap along with me. I'll take the field in post position order, beginning with the number 1, Montmartre, who began his career for Jerry Hollendorfer like a very promising colt. His first 3 starts resulted in Beyer speed figures of 86, 85, and a maiden winning effort with an 85 Beyer speed figure as well. But his most recent start, his first start against winners, was rather disappointing, finishing behind Thursday's morning line favorite, the number 7, Micro Withers. Hollendorfer is going to add blinkers for the first time. Maybe it'll get this horse to focus a little bit better on the racetrack. It's a very positive sign, I think, that Mike Smith takes them out, but he's breaking from the inside with other speeds to the outside, and there should be a lively pace going on. It'll be interesting to see what kind of trick Smith can pull. If he's too aggressive and gets caught up in a pace battle, Montmartre might pay the price late, and if he doesn't break very well and doesn't go for the lead, there's a possibility he could be shuffled back entering the turn. We mentioned that Hollendorfer's adding blinkers, and that's been a very positive move for him over the past few years. According to Formulator, over the past 3 years in races for 3-year-olds and up, dirt sprints, when adding blinkers off a 31 to 44 day layoff, Hollendorfer's winning at 33% with a gigantic return on investment. We're expecting some wet weather as well at Los Alamitos on Thursday, and Montmartre's sire, Distorted Humor, does very well on off tracks. 19% winners from his progeny on off tracks. Montmartre breaking from the inside, likely to take some money. He is a logical contender. I wouldn't want to go too low on the tote, however, before backing him to win. The 2 is Market Sentiment, and this is another horse that brings some speed to the party. He's a 5-year-old with only 8 lifetime starts, however, so it's fairly obvious he's had some physical problems. He has some wet track pedigree. The dam has foaled 3 wet track winners. We haven't seen much from Market Sentiment since he was claimed away from Rick Violette in New York back in November of 2017, and I guess you could say he's a little bit dirtied up. His first race came off an 11-month layoff, and he caught a live field, the winner coming back to Beyer an 84 in his next start, the runner-up coming back to win, and non-winners of one other than Optional Claimer with a 95 Beyer speed figure, and most recently Market Sentiment ran on turf, and I really don't think that's his surface. He brings some speed to the party, but he's going to have to run his A race, and I think there are some more quality of the speed horses in this race. Market Sentiment, in my opinion, a deserving long shot. The 3 is Cold Brew Kid, who improved with the addition of blinkers in his most recent start, but it could be argued that he really needed the class relief, shipping away from Southern California to the big Fresno Fair, where he scored with the 61 Beyer. His 4 prior starts in Southern California failed to excite. The sire quality rode 16% winners from off-track runners. This is a horse that may need a big pace meltdown because he's really going to have to improve from a Beyer speed figure standpoint. The number 4, I Am the Danger, is one of the better bred wet track horses in the race. The sire Adios Charlie wins with 20% of his off-track runners, and the dam has foaled a wet track winner. I Am the Danger was claimed 3 starts back by Doug O'Neill and has responded by 2 good performances at 5.5 furlongs at Santa Anita. Beaten favorite last time out, but he finished ahead of a horse that came right back to beat Calbred one other thans on turf with an 84 Beyer speed figure. I Am the Danger might have the right stalking running style for this race, and as a relatively lightly raced 4-year-old, he still has some upside potential. The number 5 is Crazy Uncle Rick, and it looked like Crazy Uncle Rick was going the right way when we last saw him. He was a 6th-length winner in a $75,000 maiden claiming race, but then he was a vet scratch 2 months later, and he hasn't raced since that $75,000 maiden win, way back on March the 18th. Now, this horse arguably has the best wet track pedigree in the race. Uncle Mo, 22% winners from off-track starters. The dam has foaled 3 wet track winners, but I didn't love the field Crazy Uncle Rick beat all the way back in March. This race might be nothing more than a prep for something else down the road. This is an extremely long layoff for Crazy Uncle Rick, and he's going to be facing some other speeds. The 6 is Aiden's Dream, and Aiden's Dream fits really well at this level, I believe. This is kind of a double drop. Last time he was in for the 62,000 now-winners of 2 other than optional claiming condition. Here he's in for the $40,000 now-winners of 1 other than. And Aiden's Dream showed some good speed last time out, tiring to finish 4th and was eventually placed 3rd via disqualification. That was a live race. The 7th place finisher in that race came back to finish 3rd with an 82, then 2nd with an 87, then 2nd with an 86. A very live race for Aiden's Dream. So he's continuing to get class relief, and I think he has the tactical speed to work out a good trip. My issue with Aiden's Dream is he may not be the most prolific winner in the world with 5 seconds and 8/3 from 24 lifetime starts, but he also has an attractive wet track pedigree. Wildcat Air, 18% winners from off-track runners, and the Dam has won on a wet track as well. The likely favorite is also the likely speed, according to Timeform US, and we throw up the pace projector and we see that the number 7 Micro Rhythms is expected to set the pace, and the pace is expected to be fast. Micro Rhythms ran really well last time out. It was his first start of a 482-day layoff for Bob Baffert, and he responded with a career-best 94 buyer, and I thought he earned that number honestly. He battled with 3 other horses stacked up to the outside of Micro Rhythms. He put away 2 of those horses, and he was really digging in through the stretch while down towards the inside to finish well clear of Junior Gilliam for 2nd. It was a nice effort, and if he could build off of that performance and maybe be left alone a little bit on the lead, he's a very logical contender, a deserving favorite, and perhaps the most likely winner. I think he's the horse to beat. His sire wins with 19% off-track runners, and the Dam has foaled 2 wet track winners. Storm Inside is the number 8, and Storm Inside is a horse that has already won on a wet track, so that allays fears somewhat. That came in his most recent start back on May the 13th, and Storm Inside was the gate-to-wire winner that day. I don't like this layoff. I don't like the fact that he returns with blinkers, but it was a pretty good field of $32,000 claimers. Tim Yachteen's going to have to deal with a 6+ month layoff with Storm Inside, and I think his best running style is when he is pushing the pace, and I'm not sure that style, pressing horses like the 7 Micro Rhythms, the 1 Montmartre, horses with more recency than Storm Inside, is going to lead to a victory. I think if you're looking for a closer, the one you want to consider is the 9 Paddock Pick, who's cutting back in distance off 2 route efforts. This horse sprinted 4 starts back at Del Mar, earned an 87 buyer speed figure coming from off of the pace. His 2 most recent route races have been solid, if not spectacular. Timeform US gave him a 111 speed figure for his most recent race. I think Paddock Pick, if he gets that electric pace that Timeform US is expecting, I think he's going to come with a good run, and he's a danger from off of the pace. The 10 is Sir Samson by Smart Strike, 18% winners with off-track runners, and I think this horse is dirtied up. Art Sherman returned him off of a long layoff most recently, going 5 furlongs on the turf. I don't think this is a turf horse, and I think that race was just a prep, and I think it was pretty promising that Sir Samson showed some brief speed before tiring. His race 2 starts back, the race before the layoff, throw it out. He was in against Catalina Cruiser, who ended up beating the beaten favorite in the Breeders' Cup, Dirt Mile. 3 starts back, we have a turf race. 4 starts back, he showed speed in a race that produced 4 next out winners. He was probably overmatched. 5 starts back, he had to face a speed-favoring track and a horse named Red Lightning, who came out of that win to finish 3rd in the Palos Verdes, a graded stake with a 94 buyer. Perhaps the most representative start for Sir Samson is going all the way back to 6 starts, right here at Los Alamitos on December the 2nd of 2017, where he just missed by a head with an 87 buyer speed figure. The par for this level is an 88, and if Sir Samson reverts to those rating tactics, maybe he can surprise some folks and get up for a piece of this in the lane. My top pick in this race, though, is Micro Rhythms. He really showed well first off of that long layoff. He's come back for Baffert with a bullet 5 furlongs in 59-3. That allays fears of a bounce, and I think he'll either be on the lead, or if a horse like Market Sentiment or Montmartre or Crazy Uncle Rick decide to go for the lead, I think Micro Rhythms will be very comfortable sitting from just off the pace. So he'll be my top pick in Thursday's DRF Bets Race of the Day. I want to remind everybody you can play the opening day card with the DRF Bets account, sign up at bets.drf.com, and receive a 300% deposit match. Approximate post time for race number 7 at Los Alamitos on Thursday, 3:58 Pacific. Good luck.